Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of October 24th, 2022. I'm Nicole and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
And Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Every week we chat about what parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. This week we're complaining about new ways to classify parents and obsessing about self-care. We also take a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. Today we are talking about role reversals. So, I was just given notice that my adult son and his girlfriend are going to be hosting Christmas this year. Woohoo! Yay! We have finally reached that stage in the parenting world where we are no longer solely responsible for hosting every single event and celebration.
Oh man,
and
how
our
jealous
children want to take it on.
That's
so
lovely.
Isn't it? And
It
I just
is.
said, they said, would you mind? And I said, no, of course not. Please, go ahead.
Maybe you tipped your hand too much there, Nicole. Now they're going to say, wait a minute, are we suckers for doing this?
Exactly. So in a strange turn of events, my son's schedule would not align or would not be conducive to being at our place for Christmas this year. So they asked if they could host, and of course I gleefully, like as you suggested, maybe overreacted in a positive way.
And how much did you pay off his school and or employer to cause that school schedule? A small donation made? Will there be a hall with your name on it next year?
Yes, please set the schedule according to my needs. But it's actually, it's great. I'm happy. I don't know if I've mentioned this in the past. I probably have, but I don't really hold fast to many traditions. Like I do, but I don't. I'm kind of open to whatever. And so I don't feel like I'm going to miss out on anything. I always feel like Christmas is, especially when it's just our family. I think in larger families, some of the roles might be alleviated in terms of like, people might be contributing food or whatever. I'm not sure how it works in larger families, but in my family, I am the sole organizer and doer and buyer and decorator of these events. And so I'm more than happy to pass the baton because, and you know what, I just like, and I feel bad too, because like I only do it in a way that I feel should be done or traditions should be celebrated. And I'm kind of interested to see how they want to do it because now they can do it their way, right?
Right,
So I'm
and
kind
then
of
you can
curious.
judge.
And I can sit back and judge and say, I wouldn't do it that way. But I think I'm pretty open to whatever. Like, I remember when my husband and I first hosted Christmas and took that job away from my mother. And she was very, very distraught. She was not happy.
To the feast?
I think she did, actually, because I wasn't making them. But she was not happy, and that was the first year we had my son, and we didn't want to travel because it was winter, and he was not a easy baby, so we just said, let's have Christmas, where we are, and that was a very, very difficult transition for my mother. So I remember I still remember, just the reluctance of her to pass that tradition over. So I'm trying to do things a little differently and just be like, you go for it. You do whatever you want.
Right.
We'll be there.
For sure.
Just tell me what kind of help you need. I'm happy to do, So that's kind of my approach as of now.
As it should be.
And I may update you with there may be some changes, but hopefully not. But yeah. So
do you still have to do Thanksgiving? Or do you do Thanksgiving? You do American Thanksgiving.
We do American Thanksgiving now. We used to do Canadian and American Thanksgiving, but it just got to be too much. It's too much turkey, and I hate turkey. Yeah. So we are doing Thanksgiving this year, but what we did last year is we just went out for dinner because it's just because my daughter doesn't come home because she goes to school in Canada, so she doesn't celebrate American Thanksgiving, and she doesn't get American Thanksgiving holiday up there, obviously.
Yeah.
So it's just my husband and I and my son and his girlfriend, and last year we just went out for dinner, which was really nice. Yeah. So maybe we'll do that again this year.
Right.
So, yes, very non-traditional ways of celebrating when you are a small family.
Yes. Nicole is officially retired from the holiday prep business. Holiday dinner prep.
I am done for now, obviously. If I have to, you know what, I don't even know if I'm going to pull out the Christmas tree. How sad is that? I'm just kind of maybe I don't want to do that this year. But we'll see.
There's been a year or two where if we're not home for Christmas, we just don't. Yeah. Because we get a live tree and, that's that's a lot if you're not going to be around to enjoy it and water it, and then you have to clean up after it. And
well, we don't have a live tree, but we've got some cats that are pretty rambunctious right now. Right. So, kind of worried about what I'd come home to. But, so we'll see what kind of decorations end up being, distributed.
Will you bring anything?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I will.
Good appetite.
I'll offer. I will offer. And we'll just let her, I won't be offended if she wants nothing to do with anything of mine.
You're not making our podcast very easy, Nicole. You know you have to come back after this and criticize everything, right? We're hard up for material. We're counting on you.
Yeah, so stay tuned. But anyway, so that's kind of my big news in my parenting world.
Podcast, Nicole will come on and say, it's pretty nice.
Next. So have either of you experienced role reversal in any sort or any form as your children age up?
Just in the sense of waiting for them to come home instead of being the one who's going out. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Sitting around and I can't go to bed yet because the kid is not home, and or the kid might need a ride, or I'm just can't sleep because they're not home.
Yes.
I mean, that feels like a bit of a role reversal.
Are they doing any errands that you would have typically done, or?
Yes, I would say that definitely. And I remember that from when I first started to drive. Did I tell you that? I can't remember if I said this before, but we used to get our milk from a dairy, separate from the grocery store.
Right,
and, I would be sent to get the milk. The minute I was able to drive, it was go get the milk.
Right.
And yes, I mean, once my daughter started driving, in addition to driving herself around, that was new. We definitely would send her to do errands and, sometimes take her brother around, whatever.
Right.
So that was a nice role reversal when that happened.
But you, Terry, your one child will sometimes drive the other child, no?
Yes.
You've taken that on?
Yes. I do have that. That is, I guess that's kind of a role reversal. I was still thinking of holidays and how nobody has taken any responsibility for that, except to make it clear that nobody really cares what we do. So that's been a relief, Those holidays were such a big deal when I was a kid. And, I mean, we had cousins that we only saw 3 times a year, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter, even though they didn't live that far away from us. That was just, this is the get-together time.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so I always assumed I'd have that sort of same thing when I had a family. But, my mom never did the changing of the hands of the Thanksgiving because she lived in California and I lived in New Jersey by that time. And I don't think she ever came to a Thanksgiving or a Christmas at my house. Maybe she did one of the first times, but... for a while, we would get together with my husband's extended family for holidays. And that was nice. My sister-in-law and I would take turns with the cooking. And then they moved away and my husband's parents passed. And at some point, you know what? I got a message from, Boston Market stopped by and said, we feel we're grown up now enough to take care of the Thanksgiving dinner. What do you think? Can we do it this year? And I said, you know what, Boston Market? I think that you are ready to do this for us. Yes, you may take care of the dinner this year. And, they've stepped up and done it pretty much every year since then. Very proud of them.
That's funny.
It's exactly what I needed. And
a role
this year
reversal with Boston Market.
Yes, a role reversal with Boston Market. We used to go there. But now they let us pick the stuff up and take it home and have our family dinner. So
even better.
But not that any of my kids are saying, hey, how about if we take care of that? Neither of them are living away from the house, nor do they want to cook that kind of food, nor do they really care what we do at all on any holiday.
Right. And I mean, sons, I'm stereotyping, but sons it may not be as much matter to them, but your daughter she's not interested in.
No.
It's interesting, like what the kids want to do or like, for example, Nicole, your son could have said, like, you know what, I don't have Christmas break. I can't come to you. So therefore, like, I'm not doing it,
Yeah. Right.
And like the other day, my daughter just happened to mention, like, oh, I really never liked carving pumpkins. I'm so glad I don't do that anymore. Oh. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, the only reason I was ever doing it was for you. So great.
Interesting.
You should take a survey every holiday of your family members and saying, which of these things do you care about? And then the things that don't get checked, you could just say, okay, crossing that off my list.
Done.
You like the pumpkin bread, the cookies? We're just going to make the pumpkin bread. Excellent.
Right. There we go. Simplify. Marie Kondo your holiday.
Absolutely. This is not bringing me joy.
Bringing you joy?
Nothing about cooking a big dinner for many people brings me joy. I'm putting it out on the curb. I thought it would. I expected it to, but it didn't. So... Of course, I think the difference between me making a big meal for people and my parents making a big meal for people is that there were cocktails involved when my parents were doing it.
Oh.
And my dad had a heavy hand. So, I told you about the time my mom dropped the turkey, right?
Yes, I think
so,
you did.
Yeah.
Too many Mai Tais. So,
the traditional Thanksgiving Mai Tai.
That's right. They were having
just wouldn't be
Thanksgiving
without that Mai Tai. Absolutely.
Heavy on the rum. So, well, maybe one day our children will come to us and say, we know what a burden podcasting is to you, moms, and, how about if we just take that over for you? And we will say, no, hands off our podcast. It's ours. You can't do it. You can't have it. You do it wrong. But not happening today.
Nope.
And that's it for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment-themed round 2 and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.